What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm Andrew. This is Aggie. We're here at Nexus Jiu-Jitsu in Folsom. And I sent out a little post to the members, a members-only question of what you guys would like to see, a technique that you'd like me to show. And one of you said neon belly escapes. And so I'm going to work on some neon belly escapes today, 3 options that I really like. And I'm going to talk about some mistakes that are made a lot in the neon belly position. And one thing I want you guys to understand, as far as positional pins go, like all the 5 dominant positions, neon belly, back, north, south, side control, and mount, there's a hierarchy of difficulty in escaping those, right? The neon belly is obviously the easiest to escape. It's a floating pin. There's not a whole lot of anchoring in on neon belly. In the gi, there's a little more where you can pull yourself in. And I'll show a little bit of how I like to control neon belly when I'm doing no gi, but I don't see it a lot in the world of jiu-jitsu and when people are competing and training hard. So generally, escaping the neon belly is relatively easy. There's just a few things that we have to focus on. And one thing I see too often is people want to push that knee off their belly with their hand. And I'm going to talk about why I think that that's a very low percentage and slightly less beneficial position or motion to get into. So let me show you guys real quick how I like to do my neon belly. So maybe in the future you can have a little more of a nice pin. And then I'm going to show the escapes 3 options I like to use to get out of the position. So let's get after it. All right, so when it comes to neon belly, in the gi, but I can grab the collars, I can grab the pants, I can grab the belt and a collar, I can do all these things to keep the pressure and keep really connected. But in no gi, I don't have all that, right? So I actually use the same position, gi and no gi, so that I don't have to think about what I'm doing. I just kind of do the same things. But for me, what I like to do, a lot of people are here out in this position with their neon belly. And this gives a lot of space, and you'll see I'm going to show some escapes that are going to really capitalize on this space. What I like to do is I like to bring this knee in and touch my foot, right? And I'm just kind of on this shin. And then what I'll do is my head side hand, I'll put it really close to their neck, okay? I know that they want to turn in towards me, get on their side, come and face me. See where her head just went? So when I go here and do this, she tries to do that again, and there's a stiff arm there. So I'm really posting my hand on the mat, kind of putting my fingers towards their head. And then this hand, I post way over here, right next to the hip, and I'll show it on the other side, because I know she wants to hip escape. So I'll pin here, and just really isolate the position. And now my hands are kind of melded to the mat, and I'm pinned here. So usually what people tend to do at this point is try to push my knee with their hand, exposing this gap right here. So now I go here. Now I have secret weapons and far side arm bars and arm triangles and all sorts of stuff, all right? Or they push my chest. And if they push my chest, I have near side arm bars, I have inside position control, I have a lot of really good options to my disposal because they expose their elbows. So I'm gonna talk about how we can hide that, right? So little quick angle from this side. Again, I go neon belly, I bring this outside leg in, I post right by their neck and right by their hip. So when she tries to hip escape, it's really hard. Like I'm kind of pinning. And now I just wait and see what they do, or I get active myself and get offensive, all right? So let's look at some ways to deal with this position and how I actually like to escape the neon belly, all right? All right, so we're gonna talk about escaping the neon belly in this more conventional style where people have their leg out like this, because this is what you're gonna run into 95% of the time, right? Especially when people jump into neon belly like quickly, okay? One thing I'm gonna look to expose is this gap between their heel and their butt, okay? And I'm very particular about this, guys. There's a real easy way to make a mistake here, all right? What I'm gonna look to do, we're playing here, elbows are in, hands are kind of in front of me on them. I'm gonna kind of bump their butt a little bit with my knee so that I can get my near side arm under their ankle here, right? So as I get under their ankle, what I'm gonna look to do is effectively wrap my arm around their ankle. But immediately when I do that, I have to two-on-one my hands and post them right in their hip. Do not make the mistake of putting your arm in the middle and don't reach all the way across, and I'll talk about why. So I'm playing here, I'll bump their butt, scoop under here, and bring my hand in front, right in front of the hip. And now it's very important, I go 2-on-1, and I'm pressing the hip away. What I want is for her foot to be in front of her hips, okay? If her foot is below her hips, it's under her center of gravity. This helps keep her up. So when I go here, and I scoop, and then I post on her hip, bringing her ankle in front of her hips, now all I have to do is disappear out from under her, and she falls straight to her butt. Because her foot is in front of her hip. She can't fall down to her foot. Effectively, she's here in knee on belly. If I escape off from under her, she could sit right down on her foot and be balanced. But because I pull the foot in front of the hips, when she sits, she lands like this, right? And that gives me the opportunity to wrestle, okay? So again, so we're here, okay? I'm elbows in, I'm posting. I'm gonna kind of move her with my knee, scoop, hands on the hip, look. And now I hip escape, watch. Boom. And they fall. Now I don't wanna just try to come on top here. This is too square, we're in a fight here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep pressing her hip, pulling her foot away from her butt, and I'm gonna scoot out. And now I'll come up, trying to keep this foot away. Her only real option here is to turn her back to me and try to get up. So I'm gonna start coming up and chasing here. And now I've not only escaped from knee on belly, but now I'm chasing dominant positions of my own. Okay, let's look at that from another angle. So again, we're here, knee on belly. I'm kind of facing them as much as I can. Hands out in front of me, elbows in. I'm using my knee to bump, scoop, hands on the hips. I'm pushing the hips away, bringing the ankle in front of the hips. And now look, I just hip escape. Right down to their butt. I'm gonna keep the hips pressed, pull the leg away, and I'm gonna scoop my hips out. And now if she tried to come up right now, it just won't happen, she can't, because her foot's too far from her butt. Now I can wrestle up, playing here, looking to chase the back or any dominant position. At worst, get back to neutral, right? I really, really, really like that one. What we need to watch out for, this is a real bad mistake, is if I scoop here and she takes her knee to the mat on her own, but she stays built up, now I'm in a bicep slicer, okay? So this is really, really bad, all right? Because I didn't push her hips, she was able to drop her knee to the mat, and now we're stuck in this bad position, which you can get out of, but it's dangerous. And I've seen plenty of people actually break their arm here, okay? So make sure when you get this scoop, you push the hips right away, right? We don't wait there and let them get their knee to the mat, because that'll put us in a pretty dangerous position, right? Okay, another really good option I like is I'm gonna use my legs to get under their center of gravity and really affect their balance. What I'm focused on is no matter what the situation, when they're gonna start going knee on belly or they get knee on belly, I really wanna be turned towards them, right? So we're here, she goes knee on belly, and I'm kind of turned towards her. And what I can do is I can use my hands out here. It's actually hard for her to manage my arms and my elbows and hands when I'm pushing here. If I do this, she can easily underhook, and now that's really bad. But from here, if she tries to underhook, it's actually really weird, right? See how awkward that is for her? Okay? And so I'm okay with pushing the hips, pushing the leg, pushing out here. So I'm pushing until I can get on my side. And I'm gonna bring that top knee under her leg. Now there's a lot of good things I can do from here, a lot of good options. What I like to do is I like to wrap my arm around my own leg so it really traps her here. I've been seeing Keenan Cornelius, he's making this kind of guard position that he likes, very similar to this, right? I've been doing this knee on belly escape for about 12 years, but Keenan's starting a really cool form of guard where he attacks people offensively from here. This is more of a defensive structure. So now from here, what I'm gonna look to do is get my hips underneath her. So I use this leg to scoot forward, look. Scoot forward, see how she's floating? Look, easy, I set her back. And now that I have her set back, I can start looking to attack this near leg. I like to go under it, and I can start coming on top here and playing my offense, right? So again, here, she goes into knee on belly, playing here. I'm here in front of her, pushing her here, pushing this leg, pushing the hips. elbows in. I bring that top knee in, look, and I hug. I'm gonna use this foot to hook the back of her leg as I scoot under, look, scooting under, look, 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 she's floating completely on me. Very easy for me. And now I can set her down, wrestle up, and we're playing offensive positions of our own now, okay? Really effective position. I love that knee on belly escape, okay? And now, let's get on to the last one. The last one's gonna be a really cool backside 50-50 entry. I actually learned it from Gordon Ryan. Remember when he came to the gym in Danville? Yeah, he came to my old gym in Danville and did a seminar, a couple seminars there.
Hi, Gordon.
What's up, Gordon? And he's recovering from knee surgery at that time, but showed some cool stuff, and I kind of picked this stuff up from him. So we're here, knee on belly. And what I'm gonna look to do, again, I can have my arms over here. I don't want this. Now, let me just caveat this. It isn't wrong if it works. So if we're here fighting, and I'm gonna go boom, and push her off, and did escape, well, it worked. Can't say that you can't do that. The issue is, how often is the person gonna be able to actually develop the underhook and start attacking you? It's gonna be a little more often than you would like. So I prefer to do motions where the efficiency's high, the effort's low, and they're optimal, right? Not motions where the effort's high, the efficiency's low, and they're suboptimal, and I can potentially get submitted or put in a worse position, right? So she's here, knee on belly, okay? Again, I'm on my side, I'm pushing here. What I'm gonna look to do, my bottom arm relative to the ceiling and floor is gonna hook under her knee hamstring area. My top arm's gonna find the far armpit, and I'm gonna start looking to bring them over my left shoulder using my left leg and both my grips here. So look, I start bringing her over. See this? See my knee bringing her over, pushing her across me, okay? So as I bring her over me, it's gonna allow my hips to roll up over the top, right? So again, I'm facing, I'm here, I'm pushing, I go boom, boom. And now look, my knee. I start to bring her up and over. Look, 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 and I'm pushing her through. As I bring her through, it's easy for my hips to roll up and come into backside 50-50. And now here, right away, we're in a breaking sequence, okay? One more time. Okay, so again, we're here, knee on belly. I'm turned towards her, kind of pushing, keeping my elbows and my hands in front of me. I hook the hamstring, hook the armpit, and I use my knee to start bringing everything up and over me, up and over. And I'm bringing everything kind of up and over my left shoulder, this direction, over this direction, okay? So I'm pushing, and as her hips come up and over, it's easy for me now to do like almost a backward somersault and enter into backside 50-50, right? So I can easily go here and enter backside 50-50 position, right? Let's see that from a different angle. So again, I'm here, hands out in front of me, blocking, posting. I go hamstring, I go armpit, and I use my knee, bringing her up and over me. Look, casting her past me. And now I can roll back. And as I push her away, she's creating a lot of space and opening for me just to pummel my leg over the top and find this backside 50-50 position. And now it's relatively easy for me to find really good breaks and options from there. Let's look at that one a little more real speed. So you can kind of see it's hard to do slow and talk about where their pressure will be when you're going into back rolls and momentum style motion. So let's look at it a little more real time, right? So I'm here blocking, I go boom, over, through, right away, boom, there's the break. All right, one more time from a different angle. They go knee on belly, I'm posted, here, I go here, bump, over, rolling in, boom, right here. Backside 50-50, there's my break, right? The cool thing about that particular escape is that it's what we call an optimal escape, right? I talk about this, Danaher talks about this. You have satisfactory escapes and optimal escapes. Let's say she has knee on belly and I'm able to push the knee off. Okay, good, you did good. Now she gets to go right back to knee on belly. or around to north-south, or start attacking a Kimura, or try to go back to mount, right? Or just hunker down in side control. But let's say my knee on belly escape creates a sweep that they now have to defend the sweep or think about trying to stay on top. Now they're not thinking about dominant positions. They're just thinking about not getting swept. Let's say my knee on belly escape is an ankle lock, a leg entanglement, a leg lock. Now their thought is defend submission. Oh, gee, oh, get him off my leg. Right? It's no longer stay on top, stay in knee on belly, go to north-south, go all the. It's now defensive in nature. And that's always my goal. If you have me mounted, I don't want to just get to half guard or an underhook, because now you're thinking dominant position, stay on top. If I'm escaping mount, I want to put you in threat, in jeopardy. And now you're concerned about your limbs, you're concerned about getting swept. You're no longer thinking dominant position maintenance, you're thinking survival. That's where I want to be. So this last one that we just did, backside 50-50 entry, that's like top of the line, my favorite one, right? It's as optimal as it gets. But all three of them are what I use very regularly, very consistently. So again, back to what we were just doing, knee on belly escapes, you can push the knee off. The issue is this is what happens. And I wait for that. I bait people because I love those far side attacks. I love those far side underhooks and far side arm bars and secret weapons and all sorts of stuff from that side. So I'll put my knee on the belly and just wait until they put their hand on my knee. Boom, I'm attacking. So I don't think it's very wise to go there. It's one of my favorite attacks. So I'd rather keep my hands out in front of me, elbows closed, and do my process from there, right? If you like what we're doing, you enjoy our videos, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and join the team. Become a member. It really supports us, helps us get these videos out to you guys, and we love doing this. So yeah, just join the team, become part of the crew, and we'll keep grinding for you guys. Again, that was Knee on Belly Escapes. I'm Andrew. This is Aggie. We're here at Nexus Jiu-Jitsu in Folsom. Let me know how it goes. If you want to see anything in the future, throw it down in the comments, and we'll get after it.